Hey guys, thanks for watching Lovin' It on Phuket. This is a field-tested tech review of the MIOPS Smart Trigger. My name is Yeaman, and I am the creator of Lovin' It on Phuket. Any of you that watch my channel know I travel all over. I take lots of photos. I take lots of videos. Yes, I spend a lot of time at the beach. There is no going home for me, and every piece of equipment that I need, I have to take with me. That means the equipment needs to be able to perform in any condition that I may step into, and has to provide some form of value to what I produce. Anything I don't use is just extra stuff to lug around, and it can get broken or lost. I have been using the MIOPS Smart Trigger now for almost 2 years. It's an essential part of my kit, and I use it quite often. The MIOPS Smart Trigger is a handy piece of equipment for a variety of scenarios. It can be triggered by sound, a laser, and lightning. It can capture image sets for high dynamic range photography, time-lapse. The MIOPS allows for remote shooting using the MIOPS app. You can even set up custom scenarios to accommodate multiple variables to have the trigger fire. The MIOPS Smart Trigger can control a camera, a flash, a strobe, or a speed light. If you're tech savvy, you can create your own custom modules as well. Setting up the MIOPS on camera is very easy. You simply find the camera's shutter connection port, plug in the cable that is included with your MIOPS Smart Trigger, plug the other end into the MIOPS Smart Trigger's camera port. Next, slide the MIOPS Smart Trigger into the hot or cold shoe footing on top of the camera. As you can see, the trigger fits in quite snug. It won't fall out if the camera is moved around. The MIOPS Smart Trigger also has a standard camera mount screw hole on it, so it can be mounted on a variety of devices away from your camera. So here are some of the main reasons why I like the MIOPS trigger so much. HDR Photography. High dynamic range photography is when you take several images at different exposures and merge them together. Not every subject looks great in HDR, and it is more of an art style image than a realistic photograph, but this allows the image to have a greater range of tone. Skies can maintain their look, while subjects are not covered in shadow. HDR is a handy feature in some of the places I go where the sun is very intense. Now you don't need a MIOPS to take an HDR. Many cameras have a setting built in for exposure bracketing, and you can also perform the task manually. The advantage of the MIOPS is it can be set up and ready to go when you need it. And if there is a moving subject, the MIOPS performs much faster than most cameras and definitely faster than shooting manual exposures. This means there is significantly less ghosting and images merged together. For example, if you look at the sample images that I've been showing you on the screen, any of them that involve skies have moving clouds in them. But because the MIOPS Smart Trigger was able to take the images so quickly, Photoshop had no problem correcting the minimal amount of ghosting. Time-lapse. Most cameras, and even phones, offer a time-lapse function in one way or another. There are generally two issues with this. Images allow for better detail and have cooler treatment options. The second is a time-lapse video is normally shot in a lower resolution. So if you have a 4K camera, it may only shoot at 1080 when you're shooting a time-lapse. Even if the 4K video camera shoots a 4K time-lapse, most DSLR and mirrorless cameras these days shoot at a higher resolution than 4K. Because of this, you can easily produce an 8K time-lapse or use the larger area to allow for some panning and zooming effects without having to move your camera. Lightning. Lightning is the main reason I have a MIOPS Smart Trigger, and chances are, if you are looking for a review on this product, lightning is something you want to photograph. Before I had the MIOPS Smart Trigger, I had a Pluto trigger, and it just didn't work the way I wanted it to. Particularly, it had a hard time photographing lightning during the day. The MIOPS Smart Trigger
performs extremely well and can pick up even the faintest flash at a great distance. The build of the trigger can withstand elements. It really is made to photograph lightning and be out in the rain. I have only had positive results with the MIOPS Smart Plus trigger when photographing lightning, but there certainly is a learning curve when it comes to the camera settings. For more information on the MIOPS Smart Plus trigger, you can find a link in the description below that'll take you directly to the MIOPS website. I've also included a link for a free trial of Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom. Because this review only touches on some of the things that the MIOPS can do, I've decided I'm going to make a few tutorials so you can actually see how it works. I will update the cards in this video once the tutorials have been uploaded. The MIOPS Smart Plus trigger is an invaluable piece of camera equipment in my kit. I found the MIOPS Smart Plus trigger to be extremely reliable, and it's helped me create video and media to share with my audience. I highly recommend using the MIOPS Smart Plus trigger to enhance your current photography style.